What if Australia could turn its vast, sun-scorched desert into lush, fertile farmland? What if, with a flick of a switch, water could flow through the red heart of the continent, creating new cities and feeding millions? It sounds like science fiction, but this isn't just a fantasy. It's a collection of audacious mega-projects with a staggering potential price tag of over $200 billion. For more than a century, Australia has wrestled with a bold, controversial, and perhaps impossible dream: to flood the Outback. Today, we're diving deep into this colossal vision to see if it's the nation's salvation or a multi-billion-dollar folly. To understand this grand ambition, you first need to grasp the sheer scale of Australia's dryness. Picture this: over 70% of the entire continent is classified as arid or semi-arid land. It's one of the driest inhabited continents on Earth. While the coastal fringes enjoy life-giving rain, the vast interior, known as the Outback, is locked in a constant battle with drought. Rainfall here is scarce and wildly unpredictable. This creates a paradox: a nation with immense landmass, but with its agricultural potential severely constrained by a lack of water. This harsh reality has fueled a persistent national obsession. What if we could just move the water from where it is to where it isn't? This is where the $200 billion idea comes into play. It's not one single plan, but a series of interconnected, gargantuan proposals that have been debated for generations. The core concept is simple: capture the massive volumes of water from Australia's tropical north, where monsoonal rains dump trillions of liters into the sea each year, and divert it inland. How? Through an unprecedented network of megadams, continent-spanning canals, and colossal pipelines, engineering on a scale rarely seen before. Think of it as replumbing an entire continent. The most famous of these is the Bradfield scheme, envisioned back in the 1930s, which proposed diverting Queensland's northern rivers westward to irrigate the interior. While that specific plan had its flaws, its spirit lives on in modern proposals. The goal is audacious: to create massive artificial lakes in the desert, feed irrigation channels that stretch for thousands of kilometers, and transform millions of hectares of dry earth into a thriving agricultural oasis. It would, in effect, be an attempt to terraform a part of their own country. The promises are as vast as the continent itself. If successful, such a scheme could fundamentally reshape Australia's economy and society. Proponents envision a booming agricultural sector, turning the nation into the undisputed food bowl of Asia, exporting enormous quantities of produce to a hungry world. This agricultural revolution would create tens of thousands of jobs, not just in farming but in construction, logistics, and support industries. It could trigger the development of new inland cities, relieving population pressure on the crowded coasts and revitalizing rural communities. For a country perpetually haunted by drought, achieving this level of water security would be the ultimate prize. Imagine a drought-proof Australia with green fields stretching as far as the eye can see, all powered by this incredible feat of engineering. It's a powerful and seductive vision of progress and prosperity. But for every dazzling promise, there's a sobering risk. The sheer cost, estimated at $200 billion, but likely to spiral even higher, is staggering. Critics argue that the economic benefits might never justify such a monumental investment. Is it truly the most efficient way to spend that kind of money to secure Australia's food and water future? Then there are the environmental consequences, which could be catastrophic. Diverting entire river systems would have a devastating impact on the delicate ecosystems of the tropical north, including wetlands and coastal estuaries that depend on that freshwater flow. The Great Barrier Reef, already under immense pressure, could suffer from changes in water quality and sediment delivery. Furthermore, much of the Outback is not just empty land. It is home to unique wildlife and holds deep cultural and spiritual significance for Indigenous Australians, whose lands and sacred sites could be irrevocably damaged or submerged. The plan to green the desert could very well mean destroying a different but equally valuable natural world. And the biggest question of all looms over the entire concept: climate change. The models used to design these schemes are based on historical rainfall patterns. But what happens when those patterns change? Climate scientists warn that northern Australia's rainfall could become even more extreme and unpredictable, with longer droughts punctuated by more intense floods. A mega dam built for a certain flow rate might end up half empty for years, or worse, be unable to handle a record-breaking deluge. Investing hundreds of billions into a system that depends on a climate we no longer have could be the greatest gamble in the nation's history. This uncertainty has fueled intense political debate and widespread public skepticism. Is it a forward-thinking solution or a backward-looking fantasy that ignores the realities of the 21st century? Many argue that less glamorous but more sustainable solutions, like advanced water recycling, desalination, and improving irrigation efficiency, offer a safer and more reliable path forward. So, where do these grand plans stand today? Despite the endless debate, Australia's dream of flooding the Outback remains largely on the drawing board. There have been smaller, partial attempts, like the Ord River scheme in Western Australia, which, despite creating a massive agricultural area, has had a complex and controversial history plagued by economic and environmental challenges. Various governments have commissioned feasibility studies and reports, but the political will and financial backing for a full-scale continent-altering project have never materialized. The debate is far from over. As Australia continues to face the challenges of a drying climate, the conversation about water, where to get it, how to use it, and what it's worth is more urgent than ever. The mega schemes are still there, simmering in the background, a tantalizing but risky option for a nation at a crossroads. In the end, Australia's dream of turning its deserts green is more than just an engineering proposal. It's a reflection of a national identity forged in a land of drought and flooding rains. It represents a bold, almost defiant belief in humanity's ability to conquer nature. But it also serves as a critical warning. The plan is visionary, but fraught with peril. It's a high-stakes bet that could secure a nation's future or become its most expensive mistake. As the world grapples with climate change and resource scarcity, the story of Australia's Outback dream reveals the extraordinary lengths we might consider to survive, and the profound questions we must answer before we try to reshape the world. Is this a brilliant vision for the future or a dangerous fantasy?